Hey, what's up? Today I'm just commentating some of the sets I've been doing on unranked as I try to master Marth, and just lots of little things happen in this video that I want to remember so that way I can continue to work on them and improve them. So learning a new character, it's always little by little. Marth is the character I'm playing while I'm learning, and kind of three main reasons why I'm learning Marth, which is, first and foremost, it's the Peach matchup. I have a secondary Fox that used to do well when I competed back in 2019. There was a lot more Puff representation in my region where I used to live, and because of that, Fox made a lot of sense to keep warm and just have them go in, because Fox Puff is just, it's an easier matchup, I think, from the practice standpoint and just actually playing it. There's just, you're cutting out a lot of variability by going Fox versus going Falco. Granted, the matchups are probably both in the Spacey's favor versus Puff, but it still made sense to go Fox. It was just a lot more linear of a game plan. But I took a break from competing for about 3 years, and so now just getting back into it, and I'm in a new region, and there are a ton of Peach players, and I absolutely struggle with Peach right now because it's extremely difficult to keep a Fox warm, especially when I don't have a CRT to practice on. And just showing up to a tournament that you have to drive an hour and a half to get there, and then after that hour and a half is up, you get 20 minutes of warm-up maybe, and it's not even necessarily, you want to warm up your main anyways, so your secondaries always end up pretty scuffed looking, and somebody as technical as Fox, you just get beat up by Peach, who just capitalizes on any small mistake or tech skill error. You're going to eat, like, generally speaking, 60 damage, especially against the good players. Now, I could just go Falco, who I main, and is, generally speaking, my better character. I'd say right now my Falco is probably around Diamond level, and then my secondaries are anywhere between Gold and Plat, but it's a much wider range. So I could just go Falco, but in the long term, I know that if I want to be the best or the top of my region, it doesn't make sense for me to go Falco versus Peach. There's just too much variability for my liking. It's just not something I really want to do all the time. I think I could have better set results versus Peaches, but if I stuck to Falco, but I don't know, I'm just going Falco. I'm just kind of begging in the long term to just get gimped and just not have the proper, like, damage output that I want, and it's just not a good long-term decision. So this is me practicing Marth because I think he answers a lot of my problems right now, which is his tech skills easy to warm up. Versus Peach, it's not as linear as like Fox Puff, where you can just kind of really camp for percents that you want. This one you kind of just have to play patient, but I'm down to play patient if that's what it means to beat Peaches. And Marth also has good matchups versus other characters and other floaties, and that's one thing everybody needs to consider when picking up a dual main, is that you can't just pick up a dual main for one matchup just due to how counter picks work. you're kind of playing the dice wheel a little bit, just as if I get counterpicked to a stage and then they switch characters, or then I have to switch characters, or it's just not that simple. So this is actually a set, well, the final game in matches of unranked, which I do think can be valuable practice, and it just depends on how you use it. If you have good connection and you guys are vibing, you can generally get good practice and you can work on a lot of things mid-match. But you know how Slippy works. When you type in one more, that's when it's on. It's the last game. So this is actually the last game from our set. I think this guy was beating my Marth most of the time, but I think this last game really shows how reads, you can learn a lot by just going for reads and just understanding how important reading the opponent is. And then if you look back on the footage where you made reads, you can kind of see like, okay, this works when I have a read on him. Now let me see what I can do in case I don't have that read, or how to actually optimally punish. So let's actually just get into the match itself. So I started a bit late. So even right there in the beginning, this range is where Falco and Marth to an extent want to play, but it's the spacing is so, like, it's very tight to where who has the advantage. If they're slightly farther away, Marth generally has the advantage. If Falco's right in that range where Marth isn't fast enough to put out his walling moves, then Falco can just take a win. So here, he shoots a laser, I try and go over it, but my feet get clipped. Classic. And so there, I get hit. So at this spacing, if I was just a little bit maybe farther back, or started my jump a bit earlier than that, I might have been able to clip him with the nair, and then I would have that advantage instead. So here, I'm just in the corner, so I'm a dash dance. I'm looking to see if he puts out a bad aerial so I can just go back to the wall, pivot grab it, but I shield and pivot, which a shield pivot grab is pretty similar to a pivot grab, but I also option select shield. Is this the best idea all the time? No, because then I get put in shield a lot and I lose options by being a Marth in shield. But in this case, I kind of get a freebie grab, and up tilt, forward air, catch the jump. This is looking over, yep. Here, I just know I have to close it out because I think he has a chance to get back to stage. Back air, one back air, it's Falco, so this is pretty much over, yeah. Alright, so let's see now. Oh, second time. Now this is just good by him. He's too high on this, so I think I can just snipe it out. If I tipper that fair, I think I have a better chance. I can probably, if I tipper this, instead I get weak hit, I can maybe follow up with a grab. He'll be sent farther and more hit stun. But because of it, he does this awesome slide off, and then actually confirms it into up air, up tilt, which is sick, and back air. Okay. So here is just Falco. Falco has to kind of run at you and try and extend combos that aren't real, so I just fair out. So yeah. Same range again. This is where Falco actually beats Marth. Now I have been trying to experiment with, if I get a jump out early enough, I can still be in the air and just mash the A button and put out a fair, but the spacing is wrong, so he's too close to me for me to be doing that. And essentially I'm just jumping straight into Falco's feet, so that's not fun. So I need to know the spacing better, so that way I don't get hit here. Yeah, I'm gonna die. Nope. Nope. I don't know. I feel like he might have been able to confirm this, but Marth's get up attack is just extremely good. So I get a spot dodge out, which clean beats the F smash, which is dope. And then I roll away. I think Falco, or I get to act first, but Falco has faster moves than I do. So even though I get to act first, my fastest move is shield. I think my second fastest move is a jab, and then after that I can do like a grounded up B, which is frame 5. So I might have been able to just spam up B, but no, I know I'm on my computer here, so he's at 27%. I'm not really gonna, that's negative on hit. So even if I get the up B, it's negative on hit because Falco's gonna punish me after the fact because he's gonna recover faster, I'm in a ton of lag, and he can hit me. And for anybody wondering, a really easy way to tell if something is negative on hit when watching any sort of match is if somebody gets a hit on someone, but then they end up taking more damage in return, aka they hit you and then they get punished for more damage. Generally speaking, it's negative on hit. So that, you know, would it be worth it to Dolphin Slash? No, I just roll out of there because now I'm Marth with the center. I think I'm messing up here by just full hopping. That's probably a mistake. Yeah. And then I fall again. So Marth is lucky. He gets awesome walling moves. Yeah. So this is my read, and this is where I gotta actually punish. So my bad habit right now is to jump when they're at a spacing where they can roll. Even if I'm reading a roll, which I think I am, I try and cover too much. When they roll under you, they're actually pretty actionable pretty quickly. So there I just need to stand still and be ready to grab it because that's going to be Marth's fast attack, and a grab from Marth is worth so much more than, well, it's not worth so much more, but it leads to so much, and I'm in a position where I think that they're going to stay at this spacing. I think he's going to stay at this spacing, like maybe a laser out of shield, but because he rolled, I should have been there ready for it, able to grab. Now, if he doesn't punish me for it, well, whoops, he mixes me up. I'm like, oh, he's going to be there. Nope. And I get sniped. That's the mango, by the way. If you watch Smash Summon 11 with Fox, tricks Zane so much with that double jump. So, I guess you could say I'm just like Zane. Haha. Not really. Okay, I don't know what this punish is. So I get a grab. Yay me. Up tilt on platform. It does work on Dreamland. You just have to be spaced very specifically for it. So it kind of makes you have to go for a read if you're up tilting because it doesn't cover as much. And the platform is smaller on the left side, and I don't know if it's shorter. So it's like closer to the ground. So generally speaking, the left side you're going to get better punishes. So that's a cool thing to know. Okay, I get a fair. And, oh no. Look at his foot. It's like going through his foot. That one I just have to be ready to just put everything on the line because Marth can recover from that, even if he's far out there. So just put out the dare a bit later, a bit farther into Falco. It'll connect. Because he's still in hit stun wait, where am I? He's still in hit stun for a while. So I could probably just dare later and closer to him, so I actually confirm that. So it gets up there, I'm a down tilt because that's a very safe thing to cover, and then I'm running out there, ooh, and I get Falcoed. And, yep, so I'm at too high of a percent. Boom. I might have been able to tech if I smash DI'd that dash attack. I honestly probably could tech, but it's still just a bad spot, so I'm dead. Okay, playing at that range again, so I'm farther away, so he probably only has laser here. Ooh, laser. I'm trying to power shield this whole time. I'm not just running away like a scaredy cat, putting up my shield. I'm trying to power shield because Falco is the nicest character in the game. His best tool is a laser, and he gives it to every other character in the game with power shield. So Falco's just the nicest bird in the world. So I'm trying to take advantage of that. Oh, okay, see, that's what I've been trying to do. So this spacing is better for it, where even if I get clipped by the laser, I'm not committed with this short hop. Boom. And even if I was committed, I could throw out a fair, get hit, but then at the spacing, boom, throw out another fair, and then I get a dash back. Oh, and I get clipped, but I still get the grab. So, sweet. Let's see this punish. Fair, that's fine. Ooh, okay, so here I'm hard reading an up B. Now, like I said earlier, I think going for reads when you're learning a character is pretty important, because if you learn how to cover something on a read, you're not just like standing still like, oh, what are they going to do? You're practicing your punish game, because reads are always valuable. And so right there I'm just reading an up B, and if you did up B, I'd have the opportunity to practice my punish on an up B. So it makes me like a better player, I think, in the long run to practice that. But he side Bs, which is always a threat. But here, I think this is actually pretty dope by me. So I'm in lag. But because I didn't freak out, I have my up B because of meteor cancel. So I actually get a really good sweet spot, and you'll see, boom, he was going to dare me if I didn't sweet spot it right. And that I would have died. At 30%, all he has to do is backflip, grab ledge after that dare if it connects. So he gets out of dodge. I've actually watched that whole clip back, just real time though. Boom, I'm dead. Boop. Yeah, you. There is another read. So I'm going for dare here because I know earlier in the sets he's been DIing out on this. The reason the Falco's DIing out on this is because of reverse fair into back air or dare. This is just a 50-50, so they can DI out here, or they can DI in. If they DI in, I get a fair into another aerial. If they DI out, I get a free spike. Now it doesn't work, but so the Falco survives and gets out of the combo. In this case, I think I could have punished him after the fact, but this goes back to the thing where I was saying it's negative on hit. If he takes damage, but do I take damage for it? Let's see. Well, it resets to neutral, so kind of negative. Alright. Boom, punish. So I've been working on this as Falco in the Falco Ditto. Falco jumping up like this. Now he's shooting lasers because he's playing against a Marth, but against a Falco, they can fall with aerials, they can stall up there, they can double jump, they can laser. And just getting better at punishing that in general has been something I've been working on, because Falcon's a lot of options up there, but if you snag him out of it, he's pretty toast. So this one, the laser's just too high. Pew, pew. I lean forward, big ol' left smash. There's nothing you could do in that scenario, so he dies for that. I get on the platform to avoid lasers when dying. He's thinking about things because this is the one more and we're having a good session and nobody wants to lose on that and people get nervous, yada yada. Yeah. Okay, here's his punish. I counter. I just expect an overextension, but I kind of get away with it, so I'm cool with that. Counter is not a bad move, guys. You can not throw it out liberally, but it is definitely an option that should be in your toolkit. Ooh. So there, if you remember in the beginning of the set, I would have jumped there. But here, again, it's just, ooh. Oh no. That's Falco. That is Falco. Falco has that privilege where he doesn't need to grab. He has the shield pressure options to avoid grab, which is his worst option. And he's got a big old shine, and that's going to hit. So I was in disadvantage. I might have been able to light shield and do something better. But I actually kind of get back for free because the up B hitbox is right here, and he starts his dare way too early. Let's see here. Boom. I think it's because he got a little stunned that I retreated to the edge with fair. You have to be careful with retreating or going back to stage with a fair because you're really a sitting duck. You burn your double jump. If they do read it and just space a little bit, then you're kind of punish meat after that. So he might have been stunned that I actually went for it. So he starts his dare high, but just the way disjoints work, my hurt box is around here, and then here's my hitbox. So even though the dare might have, better priority, this hitbox is going to win because here's Falco's hurtbox right around there. So there's me, and there's the up B. So I get back, and I'm just taking my time. I do a big fair onto the stage. It just builds space for me. Obviously can be punished, but Falco just did not punish it there. So let's see what happens. Okay, he's actually been flying into the corner a lot with aerials, which has been catching him. So I nair. Now this is another part of reads that's important. You don't have to burn them right away. I think Hungry Box is a great example of this type of play where unless the read is going to kill, it's sometimes not worth it, and unless you don't want to hard punish all the time on your reads, because then people understand that they're being read and then they mix up that option, and then you're kind of throwing the dice wheel of what you're going to get again. So if you don't hard punish it, and you'll see here, I chase down the tech roll because that's my read. So Falco falls fast. If it gets hit, a lot of the times he's going to tech roll or roll in the direction that he was DIing. Just because it happens so fast, and it's actually a really tight window to change your kind of trajectory of where you're going. It just happens a lot. So be aware of that, where Falco or fast fallers tend to roll where they DI. So just be on the lookout for that. So I get a punish. I mess up. I stink. That's another thing I've got to work on. It's just tech skill in general and punishes. It'll come up later too, where I just have a terrible punish and it costs me. So boom, I try and grab again. He spot dodges. This is very good for Falco. If you know your opponent, which is me in this case, is fishing for grabs, a spot dodge shine it's easier to perform than like a crazy triple shine pressure thing, and honestly it's more frame tight, so well, he doesn't hit it, but anyways, so I die there. Same difference. I would, even if I got shine there, I think I was pretty close to dead. So yeah, let's see what happens. So I'm going here. I get an up tilt, and then I mess up. Mess up as in my brain is silly and thinks that a dare there was a good idea. What I should have done is just, I get a clean up tilt. Boom, look where he is. I should up tilt that 100% out of 100. That's not statistics, but you know what I mean. Just I should always be up tilting that. And then I get all nervous, I guess, and I go for another up tilt. Okay, let's just forget that happened. Well, I should remember that happened and should up tilt in the future. But anyways, So here's that spacing again. Boom, laser. I had the opportunity to fair again, but I land with the shield, which is still fine because Falco has to attack early because his window to hit me is either, if I'm in the air like that, is either before that fair comes out after I get lasered, or if there is no laser, just hit me out of the air. So a lot of the times you're going to see early aerials in that case. Now somehow I get turned around, which I think it's just my controller. And I think right there I had a shield grab, but nope, instead I'm getting punished. Falco can cover Marth's rolls, just believe me on that one. His aerials, when he's on top of you in shield as Marth, they will hard cover rolls. So just be ready. I'm scared and I'm rolling and I'm Marth and I don't know what I'm doing per se, so and I'm a little flustered because I'm like, whoa, why am I shield grabbing backwards? So I'm like, okay, I'm getting out of there. And then he can cover. And even if he misses, he gets a follow-up because Falco has shine. So I'm getting hit. I don't know why I got a fair there, but cool. This is me playing Falco. I just sit there with an up tilt waiting to punish. Nope. I can't believe this misses. Oh, so sad. And I get clipped for it. Okay, dope. There's that spacing again. I get hit, but I shield it, so I have less lag. And I'm like, I'm just going to jump and cover because we know that from earlier, when they're at that spacing, that Falcos will use early aerials. So my Nair should come out first, and it would clean beat him if he was trying to go for an early aerial. But wisely he shields, but it clips because Marth, and Falco needs a haircut. And ooh, let's just watch this sequence and actually see what happens. Okay, I get a Nair. I assumed there was going to be a roll, and that's why I stood at that spacing. He jabs, which is fine. It's just buttons out of the corner. People don't tend to mix this up at lower levels, but it's just like any corner in a fighting game. Or anytime you wake up, you have wake up options. You can do wake up buttons, you can do wake up shield, which I think is underrepresented in a lot of the meta. So wake up options, just be aware of them, and that you don't always have to wake up buttons, you don't always have to wake up shield, you don't always have to wake up roll, and even slight timing mix-ups will aid in just making your corner game more tricky. But here I was just trying to bait a roll, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, see, I dash back and I'm like, oh, is he going to roll? I kind of give up on my read halfway and then try and move in, and he gets a jab, but I'm just at lower percent, and I can move first, so boom, he baits a grab, or I bait a grab, and then I get my own. So sweet, okay, punish, 97, miss punish. I don't know what I could have done there off a grab. I mean, I get a free grab, he's at a great percent. I think forward throw here, honestly, by me, would be a better play. Just keep him in the corner, keep that advantage instead of going for damage, because there is that fear that if you get too high in damage on a spacey, that you won't be able to kill them. It's Marthritis, and on Dreamland, that's just going to be doubled. So that's bad on me. I should not be up throwing, I should be forward throwing. So I get an up air out of it, but I mean, is that really worth it? And now I'm stuck on top platform. Sweet. So, okay. He rolls in again. That time I was more prepared because I had the shield out, so I guess I predicted that. And then I try and shield grab it, but Falco too fast. Yeah. Now I'm just hoping he approaches, essentially. And he light commits with a laser and then lasers me again. So laser is the ultimate kind of mix-up that Falco has when he has me at that spacing and he gets a laser advantage. So I up tilt twice. I'm like, just jump into me, bro. Just do it. I get lasered for it. Now, here, pretty much all I can do is shield or counter or dash back. And laser covers 2 out of those 3 options, and counter is committal, because if I start throwing out counter willy-nilly, I'm just sitting there and lag for a long time. So I try and dash back, and the laser beats that perfectly, leads into a shine, and then I get punished. Oh, okay, this is a moment I definitely wanted to talk about. So here I get the correct read. I'm in hard knockdown, I do a normal stand-up. He's shielding, so he has less options available to him. Now he wants to punish me, so likely he's going to try and punish me with a grab, because if I did do get up attack, that would be an easy punish. Or he could also dare me or something. So in my mind, I'm like, oh sweet, I'm a dash away, because Marf's dash is busted and it avoids a lot of attacks. So I just zoom out of there, and right here I need to do a forward smash every time. My thought process, I like my thought process here, which is, now I'm going to hard punish him with a finishing move, which in my mind was Dolphin Slash. I predicted a grab, and I'm like, I'm going to go for Dolphin Slash because it's a strong, hard-hitting move, and it would likely kill him. But I should also be aware that there's an easier option that covers more things and is way easier to hit, which is forward smash. So right here, instead of me looking all cool, Dolphin slashing up to the top, I need to be just boom, pivot, F smash, just clonk him in the head, clonk him in the noggin. But instead I'm sitting up here and lag, and boom, I get it. And then boom, I think I die off this. Oh, this is the worst jump in the world. This is me not knowing if I had a jump, because I got hit earlier out of my up B, and I didn't recognize that I landed. So I should have a jump here. I didn't recognize that I landed, so I didn't know if I had one. So just me kind of being scared, nervous, I do a horrible jump, and I just get punished for it. So yeah, I'm dead. Okay, so now this is where everybody's, how do I make a comeback? Boom, I predict a jump slash laser out of shield. I get a dash attack, so I get a punish. A decent sized punish. Ooh, I up smash. This is just me guessing that he's going to jump. In the perfect world, it was supposed to be an up tilt, but I got an up smash, so I just rolled with it. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to try and hit this now. So I get that. I'm trying to shark him, because this punish is kind of like, the guaranteed part of this punish is kind of over, so I'm just trying to shark, and I'm not that good at it yet. So I actually get clipped. I'm running him down more, so I've been noticing the spacing that he's been like to play at, so I'm rushing him down more, mainly because he needs to kind of run away right now. If you look at the percents, 9% to 159%, Falco's going to be on the defensive. So you can rush him down now and put him into tough spots, and even if you take an aerial or whatever, a lot of the times they're going to be super negative on hit, like we were talking about earlier, and you can just take their stock that way. So Falco's got to play really safe, so knowing that, I just go for rush down. Because I'm trying to clean this up. Okay. So this is the part I definitely want to talk about. So he shine stalls for, it might have been a side B that was a mistake, and then my down tilt may have hit it. So honestly, it kind of saved his life. Now he's down here in a bad spot. So I'm going to dash back, shield pivot, wave dash back. Now I still retain a lot of options doing this, but as I float backwards, I always have the option to go to ledge, which I do, which takes a stock. But if I see that he's doing something else, then I can put out an aerial to cover. So this is just me shield pivoting to show how powerful it is, that when they're in spots where the edge is really their only mix-up to go to, you can set yourself up in a way where you have more options and can just kind of react. So that's what I do. Boom, I don't know if it was a read or a reaction. It might have been close, but him going up might have worked if I didn't grab edge or something like that. It also could have been a mistake. It's very hard to get those slight angles. Yeah, I take the stock. So, okay, it's last stock to last stock. Boom. He's punishing me. Ouch. I'm getting hit. Ouch. I'm just trying to get back. I'm also, when it's last stock, last hit, last game, a lot of people don't expect aggression. If you think about like the Smash Summit set between SFAT and Lucky, where they're both nervous and they're just dash attacking past each other and around. Some people play nervous, and that's just not the way that you should. You should never really try to play nervous. But when you play nervous, you tend to kind of let things happen to you and then hope that the other person makes a mistake. And if there's anything I've learned from chess, it's don't play hope chess. Don't hope your opponent messes up or doesn't see something. That's not a winning strategy. That's not how you want to play in the long run. So just being aggressive and chasing after the win, even if you lose, I would be, more happy with myself that I went for the win and then lost it. It's a good play. So that's just kind of my thought process. I think that's why I'm going for the dash attack and being a bit more aggressive. So here's another thing I've been thinking about a lot, which is spacing. So meaty hits in fighting games is when you connect with the later part of the move, so that way you get to act sooner than normal. So it happens in Melee too, but it's more about spacing. If somebody hits your aerial high on shield, that's kind of not a meaty attack, but if they were to hit it low on shield, it is meaty because it means that you're hitting it later and you land sooner, so that way you get more frame advantage. So why am I bringing this up when it's just a tech in place? So I want to connect this grab as late as possible. That way I get to act sooner. And by spacing it, as you can see, I beat out Falco's options. So I'm taking away options just by standing a hair farther away than normal. Because here, Tech and Play Shine is a huge threat, but just by standing just that spacing away, I can get late grabs, and that's exactly what I want. It's obviously more of a potent thing when I'm using moves to talk about the meaty stuff, but you see what I mean. Just making sure that I'm always hitting my moves as late as possible is a good strategy. So I forward throw here, so I guess I told myself this in game to not up throw like a noob. Okay, so I noticed the tech in place again, so it's important to notice this. There's the spacing, it's a mix-up. He jumps in with an early aerial, I get clipped. Boom. Oh, well, let's see his punish. Ow, big F smash. Nope. Nair, my bad. Oh no, I'm gonna ruin it. So I'm at 120, he's at lower percent, 36. I'm kind of screwed. So this is go time. This is when it's fourth down and there's, it's overtime and you're going to the back of the playbook. You want to hit them with something unexpected. So let's watch and see what happens here. So I clip him with a fair and get a tipper fair. Well, let's just watch this play out. So boom, boom, boom. So how did that happen? I get a tipper fair because I'm just aggressing back to ledge, and I hit him with a fair returning to ledge earlier, so it feels a bit safer. So I know that this guy likes to roll, and maybe I read his DI. Look at this. See how he DIs out a little bit? Boom. He rolls in. That's a hard read. I'm just running after him, expecting him to roll in. So I run after him, throw him up. Now, Wispy's kind of pushing me back, so my only real option is to fair. And now remember last time he was here and he teched in place twice over here? Let's see if this is actually hard to read. This is just maybe I reacted, but let's be real. I'm swanging, and so I swang. Now, boom, here we go. And this is just like we talked about earlier. Boom, shield pivot. I jump back so I can grab the ledge. I see he's not up Bing. I see the side B, and I'm like, it's go time. Boom! That's game. So, yeah, I mean, that was a super fun set. I literally popped off even though it was unranked because this was a good opponent, a very good opponent, especially for, I think, our skill levels in this matchup. And it was good for old Elendil to take a win. So I'm hoping that I learned from this and that, you know, I can make improvements, and hopefully we'll see better games from both of us in the future. But this was a fun one, and yeah.